CEX is one of those businesses that looks extremely simple, because, well, it is. Let's break down the three-part formula that's allowed their business to thrive both in stores and online for over 20 years. Part 1. The Profit First Blueprint. The way CEX makes money is the most basic model in business, and definitely nothing new. Buy low, sell high. It's the pawn shop of gaming and electronics. They offer the customer cash for their used item below retail value and then sell it for a profit. This is a system that benefits both parties. The customer gets instant cash and CEX gets underpriced stock. Similar to how you would part exchange your car when you buy a new one. But in the case of CEX, the customer is stocking the whole store for them. They also offer peace of mind to customers through their website, which clearly displays the exact resale value of the item. This transparency assures sellers that they aren't being taken advantage of. But they even figured out a way to stop that cash walking out the door by giving the customer a decision to make: cash or store credit. Once again, they aren't reinventing the wheel. Store credit was first introduced by retailers who offered this for returned items. Great for keeping revenue in the business, but would often leave customers feeling slightly frustrated. CEX completely flipped the psychology of this model on its head, as the website clearly shows three prices: what they sell it for as stock, what they will buy an item for in cash, and what they will offer the customer for the item as store credit. The store credit is always higher than the cash offer, leaving the customer with a decision of essentially accepting less or more money. This creates a domino effect in more than one way. Someone who was at first going to take revenue out of the business is now a customer considering putting that revenue back in, so that they feel like they are getting more value for their trade-in. Getting a customer to accept a store voucher can create 3 extra benefits on top of keeping revenue. In the first instance, the customer wants to buy something more expensive than the trade-in credit giving, using their own cash to make up the difference, psychologically creating a positive feeling that they've only paid the cash difference for the item, rather than the full amount. In the second scenario, the customer once again wants an item more expensive than the store credit available, which leads them to search for more used items they're willing to part with, as they have the valuations readily available to them through the website, generating more profit-filled stock for the store. You'd be surprised how often this next one happens. The customer takes the store credit and either doesn't have anything to buy yet or doesn't have enough store credit, in essence, creating CEX's own bank. In most cases, these store credits are easily forgotten about if not used within the first few months of being received. Or, part of the credit is used, leaving a credit that is so low that a customer has no intention of using it. CEX just created a free money glitch, legally. They reported a gross profit of £66 million in 2022. Honestly, that's not surprising when you look closely at their profit margins. It doesn't matter whether it's a £10 video game or a £3,000 MacBook Pro. The margins between the cash offer and the price they sell the item for is always around 40 to 60%. Of course, some inventory may sit longer than others, meaning retail prices will reduce. But when the majority of stock comes to their doorstep at half the price it's sold for, they can't really lose. Part 2. The Market Gap. In 1992, the first ever CEX store opened in London, an expensive location for any business, never mind a completely brand new one. The business was started by 8 friends with just £3,000, who realised the demand for used tech at knockdown prices. Their strategy was straightforward. Here's how one of the directors explained it. We sell everything at the market price. If something doesn't sell, we reduce the price. And if it sells too well, we increase the price. Simple market economics. Originally, CEX stood for Computer Exchange, but they have since moved away from that for it now being an acronym for Complete Entertainment Exchange. Not that it really matters, because if you want money for your old tech, you instantly think of CEX. Try to think of alternative options for getting cash for your old tech. There was a boom between 2005 and 2010 of sending them off in the post to companies that would then return you a check.
Mazuma, Mazuma, sell your old phone. We'll give you cash and find it a new home. Mazuma, Mazuma, so easy to do. Pop your phone in the bag and cash comes to you.
Obvious issues with this system being the delay for customers to be paid and goods being lost by postal companies, ultimately posing too much risk for the customer. But if you thought about gaming and you're from the UK, Game probably came to mind. But they only accept gaming products, So if you have multiple tech products to trade in, why would you go to two different shops when CEX can take care of it all? In more recent times, Facebook Marketplace and apps like Depop and Vinted have become CEX's main competitor, but they still create a lot more hassle for the customer than buying or selling at CEX. They weren't blind to the rise of e-commerce though. In fact, they created a very efficient version of their store online. For more expensive items like laptops and phones, they don't actually post photographs of each one that comes into stock. Instead, they have a grading system of A, B, and C. Buying from somewhere like Facebook Marketplace may get you a better deal, but you don't have the clear conscience of knowing what you're being sold is correct or working. CEX, of course, are in the customer's shoes when stocking the item, so workers do all the necessary checks before purchasing it themselves. So that time and resources aren't wasted on returns with unhappy customers when selling the item on. Product inspection is so thorough, they're willing to offer a 24-month warranty on their stock. Since employees are taught how to check for faulty items, they now offer to fix faulty phones, tablets, and consoles with a no fix, no fee agreement. This keeps workers busy in an economy where most people are ordering online, while also generating revenue from a shopper they were previously turning away. In some cases, staff can even identify common faults and give a lower offer to cover the parts and labor of fixing the item so it's fit for resale. Part 3. Mastering the Franchise Model. CEX launched 32 years ago and have since opened 605 stores worldwide. They have become the go-to store in over 10 nations to buy, sell, and exchange gaming and tech products. How do you open this many stores? Franchising. Of those 605 stores, 393 are located in the UK, and 283 of those are franchised stores. Even though CEX may have found a gap in the market, they needed to act fast before somebody with more money came along and copied the business. Franchising is the perfect solution. Budding entrepreneurs provide the upfront cost of opening the store and stocking it, meaning the CEX brand can slowly spread across the UK and eventually worldwide. CEX's franchise fee is a minimum of £40,000 capital, with a total investment of between £150,000 to £250,000. Most of this will go towards stock and shop fitting. You can either open a small store or a larger one depending on the site and the available budget. CEX is so confident in its business model that it offers a buyback guarantee. Subject to conditions, CEX will take over your store management and running costs and refund your stock, shop build, and fit costs if you are not fully satisfied with the way your new store is running.